Hi, Jim Bennett, and once again welcome to this episode of Zest Smarts. It's entitled Zest First Aid, maintaining the health and well-being of people in organisation. If there's been an energy blockage, an incident that affects the health and well-being of everyone, of people, the organisation, this is a first aid approach that relieves the immediate trauma, allowing more time for a permanent response. It harmonises both the business and medical worlds, using the classical medical trauma approach to ABCDE, first aid approach to assess the condition rapidly and accurately, resuscitate, stabilise, determine the needs, what we're presented with against given resources, and assuring that optimum care is provided. ABCDE. Let's review the mnemonic from a medical perspective, then let's apply it from a Zest one. A is for airway, B is for breathing, C for circulation, D stands for disability, both from a brain and nervous system, connective, and E, exposure, environmental control, or some would call it situational awareness. From a personal risk control perspective, we need to also think, are we putting ourselves or any others at risk in the scene? We look above, below and around. Is it safe to continue? Do I need to do anything else? Do I need to ask for assistance from anyone? Do I need to communicate? Do I need to tell anyone? When it's safe, let's proceed. Now let's look at it. A for airway, the Zest airway. Are there any obstructions affecting the flow of energy into the organism? Any visible chokes, foreign bodies, airway, fractures, levels of consciousness? We use all our senses we approach. What do we see, hear and feel? We look beyond the obvious. Are there any cues, any behaviours, things we see? Think people, process, plant. What do we need to do to maintain an open airway? What's our airway management strategy? Immediate support required? People. Said people, process, plant. People, more resources, less resources. Engineering, technical expertise. Process. Is it choked? Is it leaking? Do we need a workaround procedure? Plant. Is anything fractured, stopped, logistics supply? More equipment needed to bridge the gap? Number 2, we look at B. B for breathing and ventilation. Yes, we have an open airway. Now we need to maintain the zest, the respiration rate. An open airway doesn't necessarily mean we have sufficient ventilation. From a Zest business perspective, we think safety of people, plant, community. Number 2, production, costs and reputation. Are any of them compromised? How do we respond? Individually and collectively to provide a short-term fix? What resources are needed? Who can deploy them? Now, C for circulation. We're checking the organism pulse from a people, process and plant perspective. Is the pulse strong and firm or rapid and thready? People. Are the key activities carried out in a confident, competent manner? Or are the signs of individual or organisational stress, overloading, human error, slip, lapse, mistakes? Processes. Is there any systemic bleeding? If so, how severe is it? Are we bleeding out? Can an immediate bandage be applied to stem the loss? Does the system require an isolation? If so, do we require a temporary bypass to sustain life? As before, assess options and apply actions. Looking at the plant perspective. Has the system integrity been compromised? Safe operating limit, has this been breached? Can the plant work at full or reduced capability? Assess and implement remedial actions. Last but one, D for disability. Brain and neurological functioning. What is the organism level of consciousness? The amount of energy within the system. Apply AVPU, mnemonic. Alert. Is it functioning at a high level of competency? V, does it respond to vocal stimulus, facilitation being required? P, responds to painful stimulus, command and control? Or is it U, unresponsive to all forms of stimuli? Head in the sand, it will go away. Assess and apply situational leadership as met. Finally, E for exposure environment. Detailed examination of the wider environment. Start from the outside in. Similarly, if we had a hand injury, start from the shoulder, working way down. Pulse, temperature. Are there any early signs of hypothermia? Shock. Work our way through people, process, plant. And the fourth P, performance. Look for signs of stress, organisational, individual behaviours. Once more, confident, fast and erratic. Production quality, compromise. System, once more out with safe operating limit. Reputation, maintained or compromised. Communications, effective, something called cusp. Common, understood, shared picture. Do we all see the world through the same or similar eyes? Assess, implement actions. Look at long-term recovery. Any lessons learned, any opportunities to regenerate, restructure if necessary. A learning, growing organisation. So in summary, we have the ABCDE of Zest First Aid. Airway, breathing, circulation, disability, exposure or environment, as one would call it. What does that do for us? So, you may say, so what? What's in it for me? What's in it for the organisation? That allows us to be prepared, move fast, monitor continuously, maintain the flow of energy and zest, speak with one voice. Until the next time, with zest and energy, goodbye.